Well, folks, we survived Crawfordsville, Indiana, and we made the trek to just south of Glasgow, Kentucky. The campsite was excellent, tucked away on the south side of the Barren River Dam. If you were into boating or fishing, this would be an excellent place to stay. We didn't do either of those things, but we still liked being here, even with the occasional rainstorm or even the tornado watch. I've never been in a situation like this before. I've been in several tornadoes before. Not fun to be in. But to be in a tornado in an area where you don't know where you are, and you don't know where you can go, and you don't know what to do with 100% of what you have with you, that's a whole new kind of story. Luckily, it passed through without any drama, and my thoughts are with anybody else that got stuck in these storms. At our campsite, we didn't have any internet at all. We were tucked in underneath of a massive tree that gave us lots of shade and helped us deal with some of the heat that we had here. So I had to set up my own remote internet relay station on top of my truck across the street from our campground. There is a video up here about how I was able to get that done, and it was actually pretty fun to set up. I enjoyed doing that. Our first trip out took us to the historic rail park at the L&N Depot. My dad was a big rail fan, and I'm always drawn to all things railroad as a result of that. This museum had a working model railroad. There was even a train with a consist made up of all the cars that were on the platform behind us. That was pretty cool. There was a railway post office car, a dining car complete with a kitchen, since many of the towns didn't have restaurants back in this train's heyday, this dining car and kitchen would have been a 5-star restaurant on wheels. A passenger car with bunks and berths, and the presidential car. That was the railway's president, not the president of the US, but I'm sure there were still plenty of dignitaries that got to ride along on this car. Next up was the Corvette Museum. The missus fell in love with the 1953 Corvette, the first Corvette that was ever made. And I can't say that I blame her, it's a nice car. But my favorite is the 1967 Big Block from the mid-years, the C3 generation. Fantastic car. They had a nice yellow one here. But I'm thinking I would have liked the hardtop better. My convertible days are long behind me. The museum wasn't all Corvettes though. There was this Cosmic Invader. This was a very interesting looking car. This was a three-wheeled vehicle. And check out this velour interior, that's pretty slick. It was very much a product of its day. And then there's this double supercharged popcorn maker. I didn't know I needed a double supercharged popcorn maker, but now I know. Our tanks are full, we're out of clean clothes, so it must be time to head on to the next stop on our journey. Oh, you know that bathroom door that I got to stay closed in a previous video? Anybody know how to keep the thing open? If it's not one thing, it's another on the RV life. Let me know down below if you have any suggestions for a good way to keep the door open that still allows me to close it when I want. Because I've got a way to keep it closed that allows me to open it without going through any kind of trouble. Thanks for coming along with us on the journey. Check out this video up next, and we'll see you next week.